Good morning. I had no idea the stream was on. Hi, Missouri Bear. Yeah, he is aware. I appreciate that. We talk about it all the time. Thanks for being here. Good morning. I I didn't know that when I hit start stream it started. I've been actually trying to get better where when I hit stream I start talking right away, and here it is. You guys are waiting a long time. That's the opposite of what I wanted to do. But this is all a learning curve. And man, thank you so much for everyone who's been patient through this as I learn the audio and the streaming process. And on top of that, just the general truth in general. Good morning, Brandon. Good morning, Jason. Good morning, Candor. Let's get it. Let's get it on. Good morning, Missouri Bear. Tranquility Water. Good morning, Mansfield Elroy. Good morning. Audio sounds great. Thank you. That's exactly what I was getting ready to ask. And so I had a 2-hour interview yesterday with Veritas Radio, and it was a good one. As a result, I don't get as much of a chance for time to prep for these things, but I want to bring you the best I can. And honestly, there's been so much feedback and kickback and even punchback from what I've been saying the last couple of days. I thought it might be good if we just actually go over some of that stuff, and maybe have a little review over what it is I've said, and more importantly, what it is I did not say, and what it is that I did not assume nor project into the conversation. So thank you, Callie, Cal Bernstorff, for the super chat. I appreciate that. And so yeah, let's get started. First question. So you admit Satan's your dad? No, I do not admit that. My father was a Marine. He was enlisted in the Marine Corps at a very young age in Virginia Beach. He was a race car driver, believe it or not. He went to war, came back pretty fucked up in the head, a lot of PTSD. Got into race car driving, lost his leg, had a wooden leg. As a child, I remember being fascinated that my dad was a pirate. I thought it was a really cool feature, honestly, when I saw him. I had no concept of empathy at the time. I was very, very young. And no, my father's not Satan. My father was a good man. He gave me my name, and sadly, that's not much else. He spent most of his life alone. He was considered dangerous and had a lot of trauma in him. And to hear people tell me who are pretending to be praying for me, the same people that say, I will pray for you, James, will also tell me that my father is Satan. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this is an example of the truth of it all. That what you have here is a gross hypocrisy. People that are implying that they are the religious righteous ones, the breastplate of righteousness that they wear, gives them permission to pray with an E on you. They feel like it's okay to tell you, well, then clearly your father is Satan. In fact, they will push it further, and they will say that I lack compassion because I will not let them call my father Satan. I will not let them bash me or talk shit about me or anyone else I know. And that's my lack of compassion showing. It shows you the gross hypocrisy that exists inside Zionism. Zionism is a floor inside a building, much like the CDC. And running through this floor are a bunch of fucking hyenas that howl at the fluorescent lighting that never turns off. They are slipping through the hallway, bashing into each other against the slick floor. They have no footing, they have no ceiling, they have no concept of light, but they insist they are good. They insist they are so good that they can prey on others at will whenever they want. And that's really why it's so hard for people like me to emerge and discuss things like compassion, because it's just so fucking expensive. The very people who are claiming to be holy are the ones that are making it expensive to show compassion. And it's something that's really bothered me my whole life as a child growing up in the South, learning how to navigate inside the religious structure was always a problem for me. I was under the impression that when Sunday school started, we were supposed to be learning about God and about cosmology. And over again, I found that what we were doing instead was disciplining us to not ask questions about certain things and to shelter ourselves in bullshit propaganda. I cannot stress enough how disgusting it is to listen to someone tell me how important it is that I follow the Bible word for word religiously, except for the part where it says the Bible is except for the part in the Bible where it says do not worship relics. Do not take yourself and create a golden false calf and worship it. And to pretend that a book that's been edited by King James, after it was edited by the Nicene Creed, after it was edited by the Council of Trent, after it was compiled by basically a bunch of news reporters, tells me you guys are whacked. If you really think that everything in there has to be exactly right and there's nothing bad about it, you're missing the most vital part of what God did here. He created Satan. He created chaos. He created trauma. He created the entire matrix that you have, where you get to go around pretending that you're the holy person after you call my father Satan and then go off and say, you're going to pray for me. Do I go up to someone and say, hey, I'm going to paint your house in a month? No. If I was truly kind, if I was truly kind, like these people want to pretend, I would go paint that person's house. I wouldn't tell them I painted it. I would go paint it. And that's what you should be doing. If you really want to pray for me because you think that I'm so distraught and so misguided and so evil, or whatever it is you want to clarify for me, you should just pray for me. You shouldn't tell me you're going to in the future maybe consider pray for me, especially after you tell me how my father is Satan. You're a fucking asshole. There's nothing godly about you when you do that. I realize I'm talking to a lot of you right now that don't need to be talked to, so please forgive my flavor. But it's the most hypocritical thing I've ever heard. It's right up there with repent. It's a spitting mechanism that we use under the auspices of being holy. It's like, oh no, I can call you a fucking dickhole because I just say, well, you gotta have compassion. You gotta have this, you gotta have... See, I'm holy. I can call you names because I'm holy. See, as long as I say I'm gonna pray for you, I'm good. It's all fine. And the only difference between pray and pray is A and an E. That's the only difference. We need to start looking at that stuff. It's really getting ridiculous. And I don't mind taking the hits. I've been taking the hits for a long time. But there are people behind me. There are people beside me. There are people in front of me. Why do they get to take the hits too? Why do all of us have to take the hits so you can live in your fucking fantasy fluorescent world where everything is evil because you have no footing on the ground? You're the hyena. You're the one who rips someone's throat out just to laugh about it. Why is it that everyone else is bad but you're good? Who the fuck told you that? And if someone told you that, isn't there a chance that maybe that could be Satan? Couldn't Satan be telling you, hey man, go tell that guy you're going to pray for him later and then don't? That's what you're doing. 99% of the people who say they're going to pray for me because of how lost I am never pray for me. Not once. Never do they come back and go, you know, I prayed for you and then I thought about it and I realized I was rude to you. Not once does that happen. Why? Because they don't pray. They pray. P-R-E-Y. And I don't even mind that. I don't, because it's part of what I've been teaching the entire time. It's the exact same structure that I've been showing you the entire time. Look, this is how it works. This is how it works. We are here to do evil to each other. We are here to do evil to ourselves. The world is not broken. The matrix is not broken. In fact, it's pretty arrogant for us to think, oh, man, God did all this work. He created this entire thing, and he fucked it up, man. He let evil come in. And it's because of how powerful we are that we introduced evil, and now we fucked it all up, and we're evil, and we need to circumcise ourselves. That's what we need to do. We need to cut each other's penises off because we're holy, because we're good now. It's fucking madness. And me going off on you is not me lacking compassion. I am showing compassion right now. Why? Because I'm reacting. I'm being a reactive body to my environment. I'm not pretending to ignore you. I'm not applying apathy towards you. I'm not insisting that, none of that. I'm just being real. The most compassionate thing you can do to your neighbor is be real. You're showing them who you are. I used to work in a wilderness camp, and the only thing that worked with these kids, the only thing, was chaos. We would get up in the morning, and these are 11 to 14-year-olds, 12 of them. I had, well, it depends, sometimes 11, sometimes 13. There's a dozen 11 to 14-year-olds I had in the woods. It was me, the woods, and them. And every morning when you get up, I had no idea how long it was going to take to eat breakfast. I really just had no idea. None of us did. We would get up and we would start the process. But this is how chaos works. Creating the fire takes work. Finding someone to gather the wood takes work. Finding someone to cook the breakfast takes work. Finding someone that accidentally left the cooler open the night before takes work. Processing all that information in between takes work. These are calories. This never would have worked if everyone would have been perfect. If everyone would have been apathetic and just been like, oh, the eggs are spoiled. We will not have breakfast today. I would be upset, but because I have compassion now, I'm going to pretend like nothing's wrong. That's how you make Karen. We will make a society of Karens because we will take this plug and shove it up our ass and pretend that nothing ever happens, that there's no such thing as farts in the world. Because God would never make a world with farts. It's the stupidest, most plasticine idea I've ever heard. And we're running around rampant pretending that that's our cosmology. That as long as everyone is in glitter, they must be good. That Glinda the Good Witch is somehow God. And what happened is she accidentally left the door open and a bunch of flying monkeys came in. It's ridiculous, guys. You're never going to grow thinking that the world should work that way. Nor would my kids at the campground grow if we didn't have chaos. Sometimes it would be 11:30 and we would finally have breakfast. It was awful. It was awful. But I had to stay in the pocket. I had to use those instances as opportunities for growth. And usually what would happen is a fist fight would start to break out. And then usually what happened is that we would have to break it up and we would form a circle. We would form a circle around usually whoever was a problem. Usually whoever was the issue of the day. Who's Karen? Someone needs to tell Vulcan Wolverine who Karen is. That's a tough one for me to say right now. When you form a circle around someone, everyone in the tribe, in our group, was giving that person attention. They're giving them compassion, whether they know it or not. That compassion, compassion is attention. Why? Because attention is belief. Attention is plasma. And if you're giving it to someone, you're feeding them. Why do you think I'm doing these streams? I'll tell you why. Because I have 140 people giving me compassion right now. They're giving me their attention. That's the only reason why I'm here. If it wasn't, I don't think I'd be doing these as much as I do. Compassion is attention. And if you hate me and if you love me, you're still giving me the same energy. It's when you're apathetic. It's when you're pretending. It's when you've put on a shellac coating. It's when you tell me you'll pray for me later that you're not giving me compassion. You're giving me lies. You're giving me dishonesty. And when you form a circle around this kid who's having trouble, you don't even have to say anything. This was such a fucked up place that I worked that you weren't allowed to touch the kids. There was no physical contact allowed at all. It's actually why I got fired, because I would hug the kids, and I wasn't allowed to hug the kids. But I noticed after these ceremonies that when you put someone in the middle of the circle, that it was actually quiet that helped. It was quiet. And it had nothing to do with the scowls on the people's face or the smiles. It had nothing to do with that. It was purely an electrical charge. The group was giving the child humanity. They were feeding him humanity. And humanity can come in shame, it can come in fame, or even better, it can come in compassion. And as the child in the center would watch, he would look at all the faces around him staring at him, and he would process everything himself. He would feel guilt because he would look at someone's face and it would reflect guilt for him. He would look at another and feel compassion and reflect compassion for him. And I learned the hard way in that camp, the hard way, how to fuck stuff up, how to be like the rest of these hyenas and say, oh, I'm going to pray for you. I remember one day I was yelling at a kid and I said, I was scolding him in front of the rest of the group. And I said, well, clearly what you need is attention. So everyone, let's give Johnny attention. And so, of course, all the kids reacted the way I did, and they instantly became hyenas, and they started going, oh, Johnny, here's your attention. It was like the cruelest thing I could ever have done. And that chaos gave me order. Because the second I saw that slip out, as I saw it unfolding among this group, I realized what a tragic mistake I was doing, what I was making. And I stopped it. And I got in the center. And I said, I don't know why I'm telling you guys that attention is bad. All of us want attention. All of us need attention to survive. We've set up a world, I didn't tell them this, we've set up a world where all of our attention goes to a certain antenna, a few antennas, whether it be Trump, whether it be Lady Gaga, whether it be whatever. We give it to a few receptacles. And that's why everyone is hurting. That's why everyone has a deficit. Because we're giving it all away to someone else. Yesterday, someone said, oh, well, you must have Owen Benjamin's eyes. Here's a guy that's the auspices that, oh, I hate Owen Benjamin, so I'm going to go into James True's chat and take away attention from him by putting it on Owen Benjamin. We are surrounded by these hyenas. They're completely saturated by them. And the reason why we're surrounded by them is because we've never shown them compassion before. Because we never once stopped in the middle of the group and said, hey, maybe you want attention, and B, holy shit, maybe attention isn't bad. Maybe there's nothing wrong with attention. Maybe what we need is a world where we can give it out more freely. Maybe we can give it out without people having the right charisma, or wearing the right fashion, or saying the right words. Maybe we can do that. In fact, if we had that world, maybe people wouldn't steal it by going in saying, I'm going to pray for you later. And I'm not trying to say, guys, anyone who wants to pray for someone and accidentally says it out loud, it means it bad. You know what I'm talking about. I know you know what I'm talking about. You can give someone attention and understand it's a sacrifice. All of us, I left the circle. I put Johnny back in the center after I apologized. And I said, I know we're all hungry. I'd like all of us to say good morning to Johnny. And everyone did. And then I took another kid and put him in the center. And I said, I'd like everyone to say good morning to Red Dog. And they did. And then to Dale. And then to Blake. Attention is food for humans. It's vital. And we're putting our kids in a school where everyone is facing their attention in the same direction. And we have one teacher up front who's distributing it as she sees fit. And she's distributing it. She's distributing attention, prana points, by those who regurgitate the best. It's only during playtime, a brief less than an hour every day, that our kids have an opportunity to explore and gain or lose attention in a real way through play. And this is why we're fucked up. I was raised in that system. So were most of you. This is why we're so screwed up. It's because we have this fetish now for attention. What is a fetish? A fetish is something that you need, that you think you need to survive, and is taken away from you. If I had no water in the morning, I would develop a fetish for it. Because every morning I need my water. If I didn't have my coffee, I would have a fetish for it. Because every morning I feel like I need my coffee to survive. Love can be fetished the same way. Attention can be fetished the same way. Truth can be fetished the same way. In fact, that's what hate is. You know what hate really is, guys? Hate is truth. Hate is breaking through the facade and telling someone exactly how you feel. And it's using more energy than you had that they even deserve, because it's been built up in all your other history through the day. That's who Karen is, by the way. Someone asked who's Karen. That's who Karen is. Karen's the poor girl that listened to everything she was told. She went to Sunday school and she repeated everything she was told. She went to school and she regurgitated everything she was told. But Karen never got attention. Karen has a husband at home who's completely empty, who won't give her a good dicking. Karen receives no respect from her kids, no respect from the PTA. Karen does not get enough attention, and she's developed a fetish for it. And it sucks, because Karen deserves attention. But there's not enough to go around, because we're giving it to the news, we're giving it to whoever brings up the scariest story, or the happiest story. And we're giving it all to them. We're giving Anderson Cooper prana when we should be giving it to Karen. That's why you see Karen go off in Target. That's why she goes off to the manager. Because she finally finds a nut. And who could blame her? She's starving. And it sucks because she's starving so bad. So she's going to end up leaving with guilt, feeling awful for it, and wondering how she's going to get her next nut. Karen's doing you a favor by freaking out. She's telling you what's wrong with the world. She's telling you what's wrong with her. All of this is good. All these hyenas are good. I want them out. I want them obvious. I want all of us to see them. I want all of them to feel foolish, because it'll help them. I wanted to feel foolish when I started rebuking Johnny for wanting attention, and I was able to do that. It was that chaos that allowed it to happen. It would not have happened without that chaos. It would not have happened without lies. It would not have happened without people turning into Karen. The next topic, the secret society crap. Oh, man. So one of my commenters, he comments about 6 or 7 times a day. It's insane how much effort and calories he puts in to talking shit about me. And again, I don't mind, because he's a Karen. He's basically a Karen with a very, very limp. I don't even want to cut him down. He's a Karen with a penis. But he's obsessed with Illuminati. He's like, oh, James, flashing those Illuminati hand signals, huh? Showing that owl, right? Ooh, clearly you're evil because you have an owl in your coffee cup. And again, I don't mind that happening, but I want to share my perspective on this. I want to share just what it's like to be in my shoes and watch someone do that. I bought this house that you see behind me. I don't own this house. It's a mortgage. I own a fucking mortgage on this house. And this house came with 2 things. 2. It came with that stained glass window, which wasn't up there. It was in this window right here, which you can't see. And it came with about 7,000 owls. This house was covered in owls. This is just one. There's an owl. Here's another owl. This is a napkin holder owl. It came with a complete set of coffee mugs that have owls on them. It came with this owl, a little copper owl. Hoot, hoot, hoot. It came with so many owls that I started making owls. Here's a little carburetor owl I made. Put a little mirror behind him. And as the owls grew, so too did my own life. Screech owls started to appear early in the morning. I started volunteering at a wildlife center here in town. And I had a great horned owl living in this room right here behind me. I had 5 screech owls living here. I had a barred owl that was blind. He used to sit on my shoulder. and he would keep his head up against my head because he couldn't see out of his right eye. Ooh, there's Illuminati, right? No. It was an owl. And the owl was blind in his right eye, and he would keep his head up against mine so he could see, because there was a safety that he found. As long as, and I don't think it had anything to do with me, by the way. I think that he would probably just lay his head up against anything and just realize, well, if this is a fucking tree, there's no way it's going to get me. So I can only have to see out of this spot. I could not count how many times I've had an owl in my hands doing wildlife stuff, going to schools. I used to take these owls to schools and talk to kids about them. And I just want you to know that as I'm reading your texts, your comments about how evil I must be because I have owls, it's just disgusting, because I realize how many calories I've spent helping owls and how beautiful it is to even have the privilege of being that close to an owl. Most of us never even get to touch an owl. I did. I do. It's something that sets me apart from other people. It's something that I'm really proud of. And I'm reading comments about how, well, because I have an owl in my coffee mug, clearly I'm an Illuminati agent. There's nothing. Feel free to write those comments. I just need you to understand that from someone who actually has had a deep relationship with owls, it just makes me realize how fucking stupid you are. Like, how much assumptions that you would have to make to dig deep into that and look for something shitty inside of something so good. It's just profound to be on the other side of that, to watch that happening. And I encourage us to keep doing it, because I think there's an honesty there that comes through. When someone's terrified because I make a gesture, that person was going to be terrified no matter what. I was helping them find a conduit for that terror. And if you're going around looking for a secret society, you're going to find one. If you go around looking for faces in rocks, you're going to find them. If you're going around looking for a bad time, you're going to find it. You will always find what you seek, because you're a good hunter. All of us are good hunters. That's why. You're going to find exactly what you seek. If you're looking for evil in the world that you can run away from and cackle, it's so weird to watch people cackling, "I want to pray for you," and they literally sound like the evil that they're so terrified of. And why? Because they find what they seek. You're finding exactly what it is you seek. So yeah, there's that. Next topic. Athena versus Nike. I actually talked about this yesterday, but someone is still like, "Oh, you don't understand the magic of Athena," or whatever. And it's like, guys, I'm going to tell you, Athena's a slave. Athena is a slave. Our wisdom has been held captive. We chained that bitch down, and we replaced her with victory. That's right, my friends. Victory. I think this is right. Athena and Nike. Okay. This is the Parthenia. There are two of them. One is in Nashville. The other's in Greece. And I want you to look at Athena. Actually, here's a great picture. Here's Athena, the goddess of wisdom. You guys see that? Where's the screen? No, you can see that. Oh, wait, you can't see that, can you? Here we go. Here we go. Here's Athena, the goddess of wisdom. And she's been subdued. That's right. She's been subdued. She's been taken captive. And it didn't take much. It did not take her much. Instead of wisdom, Athena is focused on victory. Why? Because victory is crowning her. Victory gives her wings. It's her Red Bull. Victory plays her songs and tells her how great she is because she won. Athena loses wisdom under the auspices of victory. She is subdued by the spell of Nike. When you enter into a relationship with victory, you have left your relationship. You've left your relationship with wisdom. You can't have both. You can't have both of them at the same time. You're going to have to pick one or the other. And all it takes to fool Athena is a laurel, a golden crown. That's all it takes. And she'll drop her spear. She won't even hold her shield anymore. Victory is all she needs. Victory is fame. Victory is everything but wisdom. Victory is Highlander, the quickening. There can be only one. That's what victory really is. And you're never going to be working towards wisdom if you're working towards victory. That's what praying is. I'm sorry, that's what that specific kind of praying is. When you're out there in public telling everyone who you're going to pray for, what you're really doing is you're competing for the victory, the laurel of holiness, the breastplate of righteousness. They might as well call it the codpiece of righteousness. Because when you have that breastplate of righteousness on, guys, you're going to kill anything you want. You're going to destroy anything you want. You're going to prey on anything you want. Because you are donning the breastplate of righteousness. Look at every single crusade. Look at every single inquisition. Look at every single witch burning. All three of them were victory, not wisdom. All three of them were seek evil and destroy it. And that's what we've done. That's what we still do. That's why every 15 months we're invading a foreign country. That's why we're declaring war on your body's messenger system. This is the folly of good versus evil, of the polarity of it all. If you truly want to pray for me, you will do it quietly. Maybe you will even ask, "Hey James, how was your day yesterday around 10:45? If you truly wanted to pray for me because you're worried that my soul is going to burn in eternal hell for using my rational brain to discern the world, why don't you try that approach instead? Why do you have to? It's a form of usury to say I'm going to pray for you. Yeah, it's usury. James, how can that be? Because you're telling someone, I would like prana credit now. I would like reputation credit from all of you. I would like plasma now for something I'm promising to do in the future, which I'm not going to fucking do. Because you got an owl on your coffee mug, and I cannot fucking pray for someone that has an owl on their coffee mug. Holy shit, I can't do that. That's insanity. This moral high ground, king of the mountain game, is victory over wisdom. You cannot have both. Wisdom is compassion. There's no victory in compassion. There's not. Victory has a subterranean plot, guys. It's non-victory. Victory implies I destroyed someone else. I did this better than someone else. It is a ranking system. You might as well pull out the rainbow flag. That's what victory is. Which among us has a shittier life? Whoever does, we're going to change you into a fucking color, and that color goes on top of the flag. Now you have a contest of hyenas. Who can pull out each other's throat the fastest and laugh about it?
I'm more progressive than you. I will progressifize you tonight when I pray to my evil lord, the anti-owl.
It's so sick. It's so sick because these are the people that are telling you they're good. These are the people that are insisting that you got it all fucking wrong, man. That compassion really means just to call everything fucking evil. It's so bad. It's so bad. But that's why we're here. We're here to squeeze these opportunities. We're here to find this stuff and go, hey, let's form a circle. Let's talk about this shit. Let's discuss why you just told him you would pray for him. Let's seriously talk about that. You mean pray, P-R-E-Y, or do you mean pray, P-R-A-Y? Because honestly, if you're already using usury, which the Bible already tells you is wrong, so maybe it's pray, P-R-E-Y. Well, that's impossible. There's no way I could be evil. Boom. That's evil. Because you don't have compassion. You don't have enough compassion plasma to do it. You'll never get there doing it that way, guys. If you want to insist owls are evil, you're evil. You're telling every single conglomerate of energy in the forest that happens to be called an owl that they're evil. You're calling God's work evil. You're saying, oh, God's... An owl's a predator. Yeah, of course it is. So's man. Everything's a predator. If you're seeking the predator, you're going to find it. Every time. So, I spoke about Saturnalia yesterday. Traditional Greek holiday, the end of the year. This was Jubilee, rekindling of debts, resolving of debts, borders, private property, restrictions, and Boxing Day, basically reversal of roles. Slave becomes master and master becomes slave. It's a very serious ceremony. Someone it said that, well, no, Saturn is the birth of pedophilia. And if you're, James, you're just a pedophile is what you are, because you're talking good about Saturn is what you're doing, which means you're a pedophile. Which is just like, people. Hey, one, if we're going to blame Saturn for pedophilia, I would like for you to explain to me why we are generally mutilating little boys and putting them in choir robes and running them all throughout the world under the Zionism. That's not Saturnalia. If you really, really want to fight pedophilia, I think you need to look at Judaism. I think you need to look at the fucking cult that chops dicks off. I think you need to look at the cult that's full of pedophilia. But no, you can't do that because we're the good guys, and the good guys are the ones that have the Bible. So if you hold the Bible, clearly we're the good ones and everyone else is evil. It's this white hat, black hat shit. It's, well, anyone who has a white hat is good, and anyone who has a black hat that's bad. What have I been telling you guys about fashion? What have I been telling you that? I've been telling you over and over that fashion is mind control. And fashion isn't just clothing. Fashion is the way you talk, the expressions you use, whether or not you use bad words, the way you talk about Karen, the way you talk about the Bible, the way you say, I'm going to pray for you later, you sick, disgusting man. All that's fashion. And if you take off fashion, you can be a human again, and you can look at things through your own gnosis, and you can see that's bullshit. I don't care if a great thinker that had me on his radio show said, well, no, because he said that it's this. No. I don't think that these people have studied religion as much as I have. I'm not an expert, but I majored in this in college. It doesn't mean I know everything, but it means that during college, which I found one of the most painful processes of my life was finishing college. I did it for my mom, by the way. I had to pick a subject that at least interested me and fascinated me enough to where I could get by and survive. And because I grew up in the South, because I grew up being 7 years old and having people tell me I'm evil because I was asking questions in Sunday school, I've always found religion fascinating. And I've spent most of my life studying each one as deeply as I can. No, I'm not an expert. No, I'm not even well versed in it. But I fucking know what Saturnalia is. I know what the cults of Rome were. And if you really, really want to say that one religion is a pedophile and others aren't, you need to fucking look at Judaism. And if you're going to look at Judaism, I'm sorry to say this, guys, you're going to have to look at Christianity. Because they're the same branch. And Islam's in there too, by the way. Saturnalia is a buried religion. It's been buried so deep that it's within our philosophy, everything we do. It's in the courts, it's in the cops, it's in the subterranean sewers of our system is Saturnalia, because it's been here the longest. You don't know that you're in that cult because it's that deep. You don't understand it. So most of you haven't even looked at what Saturnalia is. You haven't even done the homework. Instead, you listen to people that are popular that go, oh, well, Saturnalia is the key to pedophilia and evil and all the other shit like that. It's like, no, you don't fucking know. You don't know. Because you haven't given compassion to Saturn. I can't give compassion to Saturn. What, are you going to have me liking owls next? It's the same blindness that you're applying to it. And what's weird is as you're applying the blindness, you're propping up a system that fucking mutilates genitals for a living. And it's so deeply ingrained in us now that it's inside of every system we have. It's just like Saturn, except for what's placed on top of it is Judaism. And it gets packed down through history. All of our dead bodies, all of our dirt, all of our stone gets pushed on top of it. But it still permeates, it percolates through the soil, like DDT. You're going to spray the land with DDT, it's going to percolate up. And 100 years later, people are going to have shrunken skulls. And our wisdom teeth are going to have to be pulled out. We're going to be shorter. We're going to be balding. We're going to have stunted growth. We're not going to live as long. Why? Because we're percolating on the same soil that all these ideas came up from. But we're not willing to admit it because we can't have compassion for our own evil, for our own wrongdoing. It makes us feel better to energetically project it and say, James is evil because he has a coffee mug. And what does that mean? That's victory. Why? Because if you can point to me and say I'm evil because I have a coffee mug or because I flashed hand signs, you're going to feel less evil, aren't you? It's compare, contrast. Victory. What is victory doing? It's constantly weighing. Who won? Who lost? Who's better? Who's worse? These are beautiful lessons for you, and they're supposed to be hard. They're supposed to be awkward. You're supposed to walk through the grocery store and see owls and go, why was there such a shit about owls for so long?
Oh, well, Bohemian Grove. Bohemian Grove, Alex Jones. I saw them. They murdered. Well, I didn't see the murder, but I saw a film, and they had a fire, and there was a stone, so they must be evil.
And it's just like, oh, God. It's like, can you get in the center of the circle, please? Can you please get in the center of the circle so we can give you some compassion and attention? Can you try that? Before you tell me what an expert you are about Bohemian Grove, do you know where the groves came from?
Yeah, it's the source of all evil. Druids, they would fuck people and kill them and eat their hearts out. And that was the source of all evil was Druids. And luckily Christians came around and they just had to cut off some dicks. That's all. They just had to cut off dicks to make everything feel better. And now it's magic.
It's like, no, let's throw some compassion in here. Let's actually look at the system for what it truly is and ask ourselves, maybe organized religion is the problem. Maybe blind obedience and fear is the problem. Maybe pretending that because a radio host told me Saturn was evil, I have to now believe it because I'm going to wear it like a fucking fashion is the problem. Go against fashion. It's going to feel cold. It's going to hurt. You're going to get stabbed. It's a gauntlet. You know what a gauntlet is in Native American terms?
No, Native Americans, they fucking killed each other. That's all they were. It was just evil savages. It was the Pilgrims that were nice. They were just nice. They were all nice, and the Indians were all evil.
It's like, what is the gauntlet? When two tribes fought, the survivors went through the gauntlet. Holy shit. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being at war, and when the war ends, instead of you just being a prisoner or instead of you being killed or whatever, you have to go through the gauntlet. It's this tunnel of men. It's this tunnel of men. And on the other side, the tribe mother was waiting. And she was watching, she was witnessing the prisoners come through the gauntlet. And as they walked through the gauntlet, they were hit in the kidneys, they were fucking bashed, slashed, mashed, ridiculed, spit on. And when they came out the other side, the mother crow would watch them undergo this. And she would either accept them as her own children or kill them. And she did that based on how they went through the gauntlet. You became a part of the tribe by going through the gauntlet. No, you weren't like a super elevated high person. You had to earn that. Same thing in Rome, same thing in America, same thing in everything. When you enter a new group, you have to earn your rank. You have to earn trust and faith from other people. But that was a bonding ceremony, the gauntlet was. It was a trauma bond. And that's what a family is. A family is a trauma bond. A family is someone who... A family is a group of people that go through trauma and are bound by it. The things that they happen to you as a family, the frustrations, the hair pulling, I think I lost my kid at the mall, the bad grades, all of these are necessary gauntlets that we go through with each other. They build cohesion. They build trust. They build compassion. When Johnny needed attention, even though no one had breakfast, that was a trauma bonding ceremony. And you get to pick how those trauma bonds are going to occur. Is this going to be a good trauma bonding ceremony or a bad one? Am I going to inject shame or am I going to inject fame? And fame is no better than shame. Shame is no better than fame. This is kind of where good and evil is, guys. Good is fame. Evil is shame. And neither one of them is the truth. You understand? Good is not truth. In fact, the old definition of good and evil was very different. Believe it or not, the man who could come into a village and just pillage and take whatever he wanted was called good. It's true, look it up. The man who was feeble, the one who was not able to survive, the leper, the beggar, they were called evil. They were feeble. They were weak. That's what good and evil used to mean. This polarity has always been used to control you because you're so easy to control. It's not even brilliant. We're controlled not because of a brilliant technique they used. We're controlled because it's just that fucking easy. And these merry pranksters, evil or good, compassionate or non-compassionate, they're going to use the same tools on you until you learn how to get the fuck up. Until you learn how to run through the gauntlet and accept the truth of the world for what it truly is. That's the only way you're going to grow. And once that compassion starts to grow, man, you're kicking ass at that point. Yeah, family does know your soft spot. Absolutely. And that's what makes it such an intimate relationship. It's supposed to be that way. The nicest thing you can do for your family is show your ass. And recover. That's the nicest thing you could do to people. I use the word nice, which sucks. Nice is such a shitty thing to do to people. It's so not compassionate. I know it's confusing. I know it is. But that's because our language has been fucked. It's been hijacked. We've allowed it to hijack because we got this quickening. There can be only one. What is a staring contest? It's two people focused on winning that prize of there can be only one. And staring contests hurt. If you remember doing that as a kid, they hurt. You burnt calories. That's why someone quit. And you could only do like maybe 7 staring contests. And then you had to stop. It was too much, man. You're just like, oh, I can't, dude. I got to go lay in an ice tub, get my trainer to work on my retina quads. There is an energy below all of this that we don't see. If someone's having a wrench problem, just put it in all caps and I can do something. Just tell me what to do, guys, in chat. We have to have compassion for giants. We've been taught this idea that, well, no, it was Samson, right? The giant. It was the short guy was good. The giant was evil. And giant is going to be something that scares you. It's going to intimidate you. And that's why I come back to the fear thing. Fear is an opportunity to claim power. And if you're going to reject fear, you're going to reject power. But once you understand you're in fear, I hope that instead you'll remember, I am in power. I can transmute this however I want. I can seek evil and find it and destroy it, or I can seek compassion, find it, and invigorate it. That's what this is all about. That's what this apocalypse is all about. Love Flow is reminding us all to have a sphincter relaxation. I think it's a good idea. I want to remind you that if you place your tongue against the top of your mouth, you're completing the circuit. You have a polyvagal nerve that runs through your entire system. It wraps around every organ. And as you clench your sphincter, you are squeezing all of your organs. And as you release, you are relaxing all of your organs. And the only way you're going to know if you're truly relaxed is to clench first. It's to have a hero's journey inside your body. And so I realize this is hilarious, but let's do that. I'm clenching and I'm relaxing. When I relax, I'm letting my tongue off. I'm clenching and I'm relaxing. I'm trying to clench it like really hard. It's hard to do it in front of you guys because it's really embarrassing. Let's do it one more time. And I'm relaxing. Can't hear us, James. I'm not sure what that means, Catherine. Are you saying you can't hear me or that I can't hear you? Let me know if my audio is a problem. All right, next thing. Someone said yesterday, holy shit, what a dickhole. Listen to this. My Christ will come and destroy your Antichrist, James. So first of all, they're calling the Christ that I follow Antichrist. They're saying, well, no, your version of Jesus is the anti-Jesus, James. Mine's the true Jesus, and my Jesus is going to come destroy your Jesus. That is so fucking whacked. My response to him was, my Christ welcomes your Christ with compassion. My Christ looks forward to you coming. Even if you want to destroy him, my Christ is like, hey, come through the gauntlet. Let's fit through the eye of the needle together. And let's meet on the other side.
And he's like, no, my Christ is like, he doesn't like you because you got an owl on your mug.
It's like so fucking ridiculous. It's hilarious to watch these guys. But it shows you how broken we are. That there are people out there right now insisting that their Christ is going to beat up your Christ. It shows you how pathetic it is. Volume low? Okay, wait. Now you got one person saying sound okay and the other one saying volume low. Man, that's confusing. I don't know what to do when someone says that. I'm not going to touch my volume. It's at negative 9.1 decibels. I spent a lot of time putting it right here. Maybe I can project a little bit more. I turned it up just a notch here. Maybe, is that Let me know if that's too loud. It could be a troll. I'm not saying you're a troll, by the way, Electric Michael. You could be awesome. But sometimes I think people just like to do this because they like to mess with me, and I just haven't learned how to do that. Is this louder? Okay, Jay Armstrong's saying it too. Maybe that's it. I've turned it up. Audio's fine. I get a childish kick when someone tries to figure me out. Sounds great. Audio's fine. Okay. Little low, volume is good. It's so funny. Okay. I mentioned this before. I'm just going to say it really quick. Building 7 is your invitation to compassion. They destroyed Building 7 in an obvious way so you would know it was bullshit. They showed you the picture beforehand. All that was set up so you would know that something's up with Building 7. They sacrificed that entire building to help you. That was your welcome into this, I'm afraid Michelle's listening. I don't even want to call it a secret society. But it is a, oh good, I'm glad it's better now, guys. I will definitely going to make it a habit of checking that volume thing before I go. Volume is a bit low for built-in, okay. Okay. I'm working on it. Building 7 is an invitation into this hermetic order, whether you want it or not. I think it's God's hermetic order, honestly. This is not about me saying that there's like a secret society that meets behind a dumpster and like butt chugs each other to reach enlightenment. I'm talking about something that's built into your consciousness. There is a natural map to compassion. And if you look at Building 7, it's a natural roadway in through those gates. And those gates seem to be as above, so below, as within, so without. Your two towers are your retinas. You by going in between, you're finding your pineal through compassion. Compassion is a sixth sense. And it's not being nice. Compassion isn't, oh, this guy wants to butt fuck me, so I'm going to be compassionate and let him do it. You guys need to shut the fuck up who keeps saying, well, you're not being compassionate, James, when I'm not being nice. I'm not here to be nice. I'm here to be real. I also want to be compassionate. Stop confusing these two words, nice and compassionate. I realize some of you aren't going to be able to get it, and this isn't going to be your channel because you're just not ready. And that's fine. I don't need you to be ready. That's the beauty of the apocalypse. We don't need you to be ready. Some of us are going to crawl around on masks, insisting that we're going to get sick and die. Some of us are going to open the window and yell at traffic. Why aren't you fucking home? That's what makes the apocalypse so beautiful. The famine card has been drawn on the apocalypse. What do you think that means? Some of us are going to starve because we're dependent on Babylon. Remember what I talked to you about a fetish? You developed a fetish for Babylon and you see it going. Of course you're going to react this way. If you took my coffee away, I'm going to throw a bitch fit about it. I'm going to open the window and yell at traffic about it. When I go into Target, if there's no coffee there, I'm going to fucking pull a Karen. I'm going to take it personally and I'm going to call anyone who stops my coffee evil. And I'm going to claim, my Messiah is going to come beat up your Messiah's ass, man. Because that's how good my God is. My Jesus is so good, he's going to kick your Jesus' ass. That's what you're seeing right now. That's what's surrounding us right now. And it's beautiful. Guys, it's beautiful. I realize it's hard. I realize that I personally dread going to the grocery store. I've been trying to avoid it. I've been eating out a lot more than I should. Because I don't want to face those muggles. The twisted munchkins with masks on that are basically the flying monkeys of the narcissism. I don't want to face them either. I'm not even saying you have to. It's not my duty to go out and face them every day. Fuck that. I'm a plant. I'm going to grow in good soil. I'm not going to grow in bad soil. So I'm going to keep my feet in good soil. I'll do better at my house. I'll do better figuring out other ways to eat. I'll do better figuring out how can I get out of this Babylon as quickly as I can. This is where all of us are. I will probably lose this house in a year. I'm okay with that. I want something less Babylon. I don't cling to Babylon. I'm happy to reject it, even if it means I lose my coffee. Even if it means coffee's going to turn into something I get maybe once a year because someone brought some in that had some because they were a roaster or whatever. I'm okay with that. I don't mind losing air conditioning. I think electricity is way the fuck overrated, guys. Way overrated. Electricity is a drug. And if you don't believe me, think about how you felt the last time power went out. Now, some of you guys are going to be like, well, James, the last time the power went out, I really enjoyed myself. And I say, good for fucking you. I believe you. But you know what I'm talking about. Most people, when the power goes out, they're in freak out mode. They're like, okay, all life is stopped until power comes back on. That's a fetish. You developed a fetish for electricity. You developed a fetish for Babylon. When I worked in that wilderness camp for kids, we didn't have electricity. We had one solar panel. It was just enough to keep the lights on if we didn't have dinner in time before sunset. Why would we not have dinner in time before sunset? Because one person would take a got cooler and hit the other kid over the head with it. And that would give us at least an hour and a half to process that, to talk about that, to use that to grow, to use that chaos for order. And if I wouldn't have been there in a clear head, I would have prayed, P-R-E-Y, on that kid. And I did sometimes. It fucking sucks. We all did. We prayed on him. Oh, Johnny, we're going to pray for you that you'll be okay in the morning. It's you might as well bitch slap him and spit in his face and say you're evil. Repent, repent, repent. Again, if you want to pray for me, pray for me. Why do you have to get credit up front for it? Why do you have to come in up front and go, oh, well, I'm gonna show you how nice I am. I'm gonna go home and pray for you. I'm not gonna do it, but I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna do it. If you're truly that compassionate, if you truly believe that you want to help someone's soul by praying, then pray for them. Don't say you're gonna do it, do it. Otherwise, how do we know that you're not just pulling another scam like so many of us do? It's just another politician. We don't need more politicians. Let's see. God is not here to defeat evil. I know a lot of people you might think that. I know a lot of people might think that you're the soldier of God, and therefore you must defeat evil, which means you will pick up a saber and you will go kill all the pedophiles. And as you suit up with your breastplate of righteousness and your codpiece of compassion, or whatever the fuck it is you're going to say, you're going to do what every other crusader has done. You're going to seek and ye shall find. You're going to go out and you're going to find a pedophile. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if you have evidence for it, because you're going to find one. That's what Epstein Island is. And that's why yesterday when I pointed out about Epstein that was a fake temple, I'm still getting people in the comments. Yeah, but still, people were still tortured and butt raped there. And all I see is someone masturbating. I see a sick mind fucking masturbating over that. The island's a lie. But you're still clinging to the sickness of it. You still want to find that pedophile. So you're insisting that, no. Even though the satanic temple isn't real, even though Q lied about this and lied about that, even though there's a fake plastic cow, an ambulance with no fucking hospital, even though the entire thing's painted like a movie set, even though anyone on a Disney cruise can can drive by on a boat and snorkel off the coast of that, even though the temple was completely fake and a utility outbuilding, even though there was no dome housing a secret elevator that meant 12 floors down underground to the secret satanic cannibal cult where they peel your face off and buttfuck you, you still believe it's real. And you're doing what Amazing Polly did. You're fetishizing it. You're masturbating over the fact that kids are being tortured. It's disgusting. And some of you are saying, no, you're using this to cover it up because you got an owl in your mug, James. So secretly, you're the one that's helping the pedophiles. You set up that whole thing. And it's just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I know what's wrong with you. You're masturbating about pedophilia right now. Why? Because you have a fetish for it. Because someone introduced it to you, then they took it away. I came in and said, that's all bullshit. The Q fetish is all bullshit. And you're like, no, I really want it to be true. So I'm going to don my breastplate of righteousness and my codpiece of compassion and my lance of love, or whatever the fuck else you're going to come up with. And you're going to go out and you're going to find a pedophile. And I tell you, what's the difference between that, between hunting pedophiles and angry villagers running through with torches? We have to kill the monster. The monster's just like, I like violin music. It's like, we have to kill you. But I like violin music. Yeah, but you're a giant and we have to kill you? Because fuck you. Because we're good. That's why. But I just like violin music and soup. Yeah, we're going to fucking kill you. Because we're good guys. And you and your violin, that just means devil went down to Georgia. That's all. You're just insinuating the devil went down to Georgia. See, we proved you're evil. We proved you're evil because of your violin. How many times have we run through the village as good people and fucking burned a witch? How many times have we listened to the sporadic ramblings of 13-year-old girls who convinced us that, well, no, Farmer Ted, he's a total. Oh, yeah. He fucking did evil on me. He did. He turned me into a newt. I mean, I got better, but still. Or King fucking James. People. King James, the editor of the Bible. His first book was called Demonology. It was a book that basically showed you how to destroy, kill, murder, and put on trial witches. Why? Because a boat almost shipwrecked. Almost. It didn't. One of his boats almost shipwrecked and had his new wife on board. And he developed a fetish and freaked the fuck out and said, let's go kill a bunch of people. Because my wife almost died on a boat. And because some 14-year-old histrionic personality disorder told me it's because of her witchcraft. It's because of what she did. That dude wrote the Bible that you're toting around using to burn more witches. And all these things are clues telling you, hey guys, this good evil thing, it's not working out. You need to show some fucking compassion. And instead we're like, no, we can't do that because my Christ is going to come beat up your Christ. That's how fucking whacked we are right now over this. That's how bad the insanity is. And you see that with Q. You see that with Republicans, right? You see that with Democrats, don't you? Don't you? It's the exact same thing. Angry villagers running their circuit. Blue, red, blue diode, red diode. It's all about the gates. It's all about opening the gates. And the only way you're going to get gate is if you have passion. You need a passion behind it. You need that strong, strong, deep, deep passion. That's why psyops are always lies. That's why when you listen to someone, you need to go, this could be a psyop. You need to stop even, we are approaching news. We keep waking up every morning and we approach news like, well, it must be real because it's news. And that's not your fault. That is the fault of schooling. Because for 12 years you go to school where you learn to believe what you've been told. You'll learn that if you're told something and you can repeat it properly, you will get a good score. You're taught to be a mockingbird in school. You're there to learn how to mock-ing bird. And we complain, oh, it's the media is always lying. No, we are always believing. The media's not always lying. We are always believing. Can you understand the profound difference between those two things? It's such a crucial difference, and we got to catch it, guys. We have to catch it. If we don't catch it, we're going to lose. And I want us to win. Not in a victory way, but in a compassionate way. I want us to win compassion. Knowing is the enemy of gnosis. Knowing is bad. You guys get this idea that you know something, which means you wake up and you stop reevaluating whether you should give your consent to something. It's a spell that you create that's an automatic, it's like a subscription. Knowing is a subscription, an auto subscription that you can't fucking cancel unless you really, really remember. And every month it's going to suck out more prana from you because you've been told, oh, I know something. The thing that makes us the most blind is that we don't have I'm sorry, this woodpecker's hilarious. If he lands there, I'm going to pull him up on the screen there. Wait a minute. Let's see here. Okay, I know that's a squirrel. I was thinking he was going for the bird feeder. I thought he was going for the thing. Look at that guy.
He's like, I found gnosis. This is some good gnosis. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Here's some more gnosis. Here's some more gnosis.
What was I talking about? Yeah. Experience is the only kind of knowing you guys should ever say. Have you experienced something? And thanks to TV, thanks to photography, we've actually lost how magical experience is. I might have said this yesterday, but if you picture a guy that comes in from a village who saw a grizzly bear and no one else has seen a grizzly bear, that person has something very powerful that no one else has. He's experienced an energy in the world that none of you have experienced before. That is the only true gnosis, is experience. And a lot of false idols are telling you, no, man. Belief is the enemy of knowing. And it's not that way at all. Experience is gnosis. Belief is plasma that you pour into something. Belief doesn't become knowing. It doesn't congeal. You cannot congeal your plasma, guys. Some of you think you can. Some people want you to think you can. But belief is a living plasma that you give. You give your kids plasma. You give your school plasma. You give your government plasma. It's an everyday subscription. It never congeals. It doesn't become, well, now this is established. If it becomes established, it's because you've frozen yourself. It's because you've entered into this contract where you know you're lazy as fuck is what it is. The only truth that's out there is experience. It's the only one. It's the only form of gnosis is what it is you've experienced. I've experienced owls. I am proud of my experience with owls. I am proud of the synchronicity that I bought a house that had owls in it, and they just kept coming. I'd like to take this opportunity to ask anyone who's thinking about mailing me an owl to don't do that. I have enough owls. Mail yourself an owl. Keep your owl. It's a beautiful thing to have. It's part of this whole process. When people see that someone has a lot of owls, they tend to send in more owls. And I just want to say, I don't actually need any more owls. I'm good on owls. There's a lot of owls kicking around right now. Look at this guy. He's still like,
Yeah. That's what James said. James knows what he's talking about, man. He's got some good gnosis here. That's what he's talking about.
if someone has a wrench who shouldn't have one, just put his name in all caps. And I'll be happy to change that, guys. No problem there. I want to end this verse. Thank you to Michael Doucette. If you guys don't know, Michael sat in on a round table about magic and men. Just fantastic guy. And he's just he's just firing up his YouTube channel a little bit. And he posted something that's just gorgeous. It's a Bible verse, Revelations 22:16. And I want to read it now because it directly ties in to my discussion yesterday of Prometheus and Lucifer. I took a lot of flack yesterday for that stream, and the day before and the day before that. I've had 3 people who want to return their books. They bought books months ago, and since I've said what I said on the live stream, they now want that money returned to them. And it's been a conundrum because I haven't had anyone do that. In fact, I didn't realize that people are buying my books thinking it's an underground friendship relationship, meaning that if they end up disagreeing with me months in the future, that I'm obligated to give them their money back. And I'm still thinking through what the right thing to do is. The problem is that I've signed those books, and if it's been in your home and you hate me, You've injected your bad prana into those pages, and I'm not able to resell that book. I might, as Owen recommended, maybe I should burn them. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but if anyone's watching this, you need to understand that if you buy a book, it doesn't come with an underground friendship where I'm required to be nice to you and agree with you when you tell me how awesome your Messiah is and how he's going to kick the shit out of anyone else who opposes him. I don't need that kind of fucking friendship. I don't. Leeches, that's what you want. You want a friendship of leeches. Leeches will never let you down. They will stay by you at all times. They will never abandon you. Even when you die, they stay with you until you die. I don't want a friendship that's a leech. The friendships that I have, we have differences. I see those differences, and I'm profoundly blown away by them because of my investment in prana in them and the respect I have for them. If they say something that's very contrary to what I'm saying, I feel blessed by that. I feel gifted by that. It's an opportunity for compassion to bud. Sometimes it's very painful. And I embrace that. And I may embrace it in a very poor way. I may say, oh, well, I can't be friends with you. And that's exactly what I need to happen. I need to make those mistakes. You need to make those mistakes. And we are trauma bonding by having those mistakes happen to each other at the same time. We are building a bond. Yes, trauma bond is not always bad. When you go through something bad with someone, a cohesion is built. A deep subterranean trust is built. And I shook that with some of you guys yesterday with the Lucifer thing. I shook the fuck out of that. And with that, I'd like to read Revelations 22:16. I, Jesus, have sent my angel to give you this testimony for the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright morning star. Remphan, the star of Remphan. If you look at the Star of David, what you're looking at is two symbols in witchcraft: above and below. In fact, pull that up. Jesus is telling you about the Lucifer. He's giving you a clue about how to unlock compassion. He's freaking telling you that. And you're taking that and turning it around and using it as war against something else. You're saying, well, Lucifer's evil, so we have to kill that. And the beautiful thing about these kind of truths are the resonant truths. Okay? They're resonant. Every single element inside the Star of Remphan is a clue. Let's look at this one, the fourth element. Let me pull this over.
Uh-oh, James is talking about witchcraft. Uh-oh, we better have to get our Messiah to kick his ass. That's what we'll have to do.
You can't see me at the same time. That's okay. I just want you to see this. Fire, air, water, earth. All of the elements are encoded inside the Star of Remphan, the Star of David. They're all there. And if you're going to hate witchcraft and love Jesus, you're missing his most important teaching. You're missing the very, very thing that he wanted you to grasp. That these are all the same. This is the resonant truth that I've been talking about for so long. Remember when I was saying that, like, you can look at a dollar bill and the truth is it's a dollar. That's one level of truth. You can't take that away. But the octave above that truth is that it's a Masonic symbol. The octave above that truth is that it has the Star of Remphan in it. And the octave above that truth is that the very elements of what we call witchcraft are embedded inside the Star of Remphan. Earth, air, fire, and water. All the elements are there. These are harmonics of truth, guys. The reason why the Star of David exists is because it's built into the scaffolding of this place that we live in. It's a natural function of the scaffolding of the world around us. And you were initiated into different levels. When you recognize that $1 is worth money, you're already further ahead than someone who doesn't know. A child, for example, might take a $100 bill and burn it and not really understand what it is they just did. Because to them, it's paper. That's level 1. It's paper. Level 2 is to recognize, wait, this is fiat currency. I can trade this for a loaf of bread. That's level 2. Level 3, this has a secret Masonic cult thing. What the fuck's going on? That's level 3. Level 4, that satanic cult is actually compassion. Holy shit, that's deep, man. It's, whether you want to admit it or not, understanding is an initiation. It's these progressive steps of initiation. And you're climbing the pyramid, whether you want to or not. It's the same thing as all of us are building the yellow brick road, whether we want to or not. Truth is a yellow brick road. Edward Mullins, people who came before us, have put more bricks down. They helped you not have to sloth through the mud during a good bit of it. And then you came to a part where no one had laid yellow bricks before, and you fucking did it. You nailed some truth that no one else had seen. You laid your own bricks in that road. And whether you wanted to or not, you found that you're initiated into this hermetical order. And I don't like secret societies, but this is like a God secret society. This is like a built into the universe kind of a thing. And so I'm sort of giving it a pass because I don't see humans doing this. Here's what I mean. I don't have to go meet any other human and say, oh, are you Illuminati? 3, wait, 1, 2, 3, 1, and then, right? And then, ow, 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 and then, hoo, hoo, hoo. It's none of that shit. It's experience. Remember what I was talking about experience? It's experience. Profound fucking alchemical experience that opened you up. It dilated you. And you saw that truth. And you understood for the very first time something that you did not understand before. That's the initiation. That's how you've moved from one level to the next. And it's why we're all here. We are budding compassion. And if any of you are lost thinking that you have to make it to the top, you're missing the game. You're missing the beauty of unfolding. I want you to go out to a cherry tree and tell one of the buds, hey man, you need to hurry the fuck up. You gotta hurry up. You gotta wake up, man. You gotta be fully blossomed because that's where it's all at. And everything in between just means you suck. And until you get to the end, you're missing the entire part of nature. Nature, nurture. We are an unfolding, a beautiful, beautiful unfolding. And we're gonna have our kinks, we're gonna have our Karens, we're gonna have our freakouts, we're going to have our, my Messiah is going to kick your Messiah's ass kind of. Do you not realize how uncompassionate that is to say? It's like, what is Jesus, a fucking sparring partner now? Is he Apollo Creed? Apollo Jesus Creed? Is that really where your Messiah is? He's going to go kick the ass of any other Messiah. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Sorry, I'm talking to the guys writing a comment. Well, Revelation 22:16. I, Jesus, have sent my angel to give you this testimony for the churches. What is Jesus' testimony? Listen, I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright morning star. Jesus is telling you that if you want to know who he is, you have to go deep, deep into that heathen pagan root and move all the way up into the rising morning star of Lucifer. He's telling you the secret to the gate. Compassion. And that's where we are, ladies and gentlemen. It's beautiful Thursday, April 23rd. I'm going to sign off now. I got another interview today with Harmony. Looking forward to that. And, before I go, please do me a favor. If people need wrenches or don't need wrenches, just write me a note. I'm going to be watching chat to see what I need to change. I'm happy to do it. I don't follow chat as much as I should. while I'm streaming, I want you to know that after, I always look at the chat. I always look at the chat after because it really helps me. The reason why I don't during that is because I just really want to focus on my message, and I know that there's just a lot of shitty people that really want to like try and throw shit out to not even a lot. It's just a few, but they go a long way. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you're enjoying these streams. I don't have to hope. I know you're enjoying these streams. I even got some good super chat to show that, so I don't even need you to tell me you enjoy it. I'm looking at how many people are here, and that's fabulous. Thank you so much for your time and attention today. Go out, plant your feet deep in the garden, find your root, and show compassion as much as you can. And yeah, have a great day. We'll see you on the other side. Thanks, guys.